My shift ended early. Equipment broke down, so they sent everyone home 3 hours ahead of schedule. I pulled into the driveway around 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Her car was sitting there. I grabbed my work bag and headed toward the side gate instead of the front entrance. The pool filter had been making this strange noise. Needed to check it out. That's when I heard them. Laughter, her laugh, specifically. And a man's voice I recognized. I stopped cold. The logical part of my mind tried manufacturing innocent explanations. Maybe but my gut knew better. Something was wrong. I approached the wooden fence carefully. The gate wasn't fully closed. She never remembered to latch it properly. Through the gap, I had a clear view into the backyard. There they were, my wife and Maddox. Maddox Tate married to Melanie for 6 years. The same guy who'd shaken my hand last weekend while going on about loyalty and trust. They were in the hot tub together, his arm draped around her shoulders. She was leaning into him, laughing at whatever he'd just said. I stood there, frozen, for maybe 10 seconds. Then, I pulled out my phone and took 2 quick photos through the fence opening. Clear enough to identify who was there. Clear enough to show how close they were sitting. Clear enough that no lawyer would need clarification. I stepped back from the fence and moved to the gate latch. The metal clicked softly as I locked it, not loud enough to carry over the bubbling water and their conversation. I tested it once. Solid, the fence stood 6 feet tall. No climbing over easily. The only other way out was through the house. And I'd be watching the front door. I walked to my truck and sat down. This wasn't rage burning through me. This was ice-cold calculation. I scrolled through my contacts and found Melanie's number. We'd only met a handful of times at couple gatherings. She definitely didn't deserve what was happening to her. The phone rang twice. Hello. Melanie, it's me. I need you to come to my house immediately. What? Is something wrong? Your husband is here. In my backyard. In my hot tub. With my wife. Silence. Then a sharp breath. You're lying. I wish I was. I have photos if you need proof, but I'd rather show you in person. Bring your brother if he's around. My brother. Why would I? She stopped. Spencer, the MMA fighter who'd never trusted Maddox. Oh, yeah. How far are you? 15 minutes. Maybe 10 if I speed. The back gate's locked. They'll have to come through the house. I'll be parked out front. I'm bringing Spencer. Smart move. Bring your phone. Charged. We'll want video documentation. Way ahead of you. The line went dead. I sat in my truck, eyes fixed on the front door. My phone buzzed. A text from her. Where are you? Thought you'd be home by now. I didn't respond. Another buzz. Hello. You okay? Nothing. Then she called. I declined it. She called again. Declined again. I could picture her getting nervous now. Probably wondering if she should tell Maddox to leave. Probably checking the time, calculating when I'd normally arrive home. Too late for calculations. 2 vehicles pulled up fast. Melanie jumped out of the first one, phone already in her hand. Spencer climbed out of the second 6'3", 220 pounds of barely contained fury. Where? Melanie's voice shook with rage. Backyard. Through the side gate. I held up my phone. We document everything first. Video evidence. Clear footage of us discovering the situation. Understood? Melanie raised her phone, camera app ready. Crystal clear. Spencer nodded, jaw tight. Let's go. Follow me. Stay quiet until we reach the gate. I want them completely unaware. We moved as one unit toward the side of the house. I reached for the gate latch. Melanie and Spencer raised their phones, cameras recording. On 3, I whispered. 1, 2, 3. I pushed the gate open. Melanie and Spencer had their phones up. Recording the scene was worse than the photos suggested. Maddox had his hand on her thigh, underwater visible through the clear water. She was straddling his lap, facing him, their faces inches apart. We stood there for 3 full seconds before Maddox noticed us. His eyes went wide. He jerked backward, nearly slipping under the water. My wife spun around. The color drained from her face when she saw me. Then Melanie. Then Spencer with his phone aimed directly at them. Oh God, she scrambled off Maddox's lap. We weren't. Keep recording, I said flatly. Make sure you get clear shots of both their faces. Already got it, Melanie said, hands steady. Got everything. Maddox stood up in the hot tub. Swim trunks. My wife wore a bikini I'd never seen before. Listen, you're misunderstanding. Shut up. I didn't raise my voice. I have photos from 20 minutes ago. Now video from 3 angles. Your hand on my wife's leg. Her on your lap. Want to finish that sentence? He closed his mouth. My wife stepped toward the edge, reaching for her towel. Can we please talk about this inside? Just us? No. I looked at Melanie. You got enough. More than enough. She lowered her phone. No tears, just pure fury. 6 years, Maddox. 6 years I believed your lies about working late, about the gym, about helping friends. Mel, I swear, this is the first time. Don't. Spencer's voice was low and dangerous. Don't lie to my sister's face. Maddox looked at Spencer and took a step back in the water. Smart. I turned to my wife. 30 minutes to get your things and leave. Keys to the house. Keys to the car I pay for. Everything on the kitchen counter. Where am I supposed to go? Not my problem anymore. I paused. The gate's been locked since I got here. You'll need to come through the house. Her face went white. You locked us in. I secured my property. Spencer set his phone down. The recording was done. Maddox, get out of the hot tub. Look, I don't want trouble. You're already in it. Get out. Maddox climbed out slowly, grabbed his towel. Spencer moved fast. 1 punch to the gut. Maddox doubled over. That's for lying to my sister. Another punch to the jaw. Maddox went down hard on the concrete. That's for being in another man's hot tub with his wife. Melanie walked over to my wife, still frozen in the water. Without a word, she slapped her, hard. That's for being a terrible friend. My wife's hand went to her cheek. 6 months ago, I told you I was worried Maddox was distant. You said I was paranoid. You sat in my kitchen telling me to trust him. Melanie's voice cracked. The whole time, you were another slap. That one was just because I felt like it. I grabbed Spencer's shoulder. That's enough. Spencer looked at Maddox bleeding on the ground. Yeah, he got the message. Maddox struggled to his feet. You assaulted me. I can press charges. Go ahead. I showed him the photos on my phone. I'll show the police these. Then mention you were trespassing on my property, in my hot tub, with my wife, while your wife thought you were at work. He said nothing. 30 minutes, I repeated. Then I'm calling the cops and reporting a break-in. We walked back through the gate. I heard my wife crying behind us. Heard Maddox trying to say something to her. Didn't care. At the front, Melanie turned to me. "Thank you for calling me. You deserved to know." Spencer grinned, not a nice grin. "Anytime someone needs a message delivered physically, I'm available." They got in their cars. Melanie paused. "Send me those videos. My lawyer's going to love them. Already on their way." As they drove off, I walked into my house. Through the window, I could see movement in the backyard. To people trying to salvage something already destroyed. I sat down and waited. 20-8 minutes left. 22 minutes later, the back door opened. Wet footsteps on the tile dot. She appeared in the doorway. Bikini covered by a robe. Hair dripping. Mascara streaked. I didn't look up from my phone. "Can we please just talk?" "No, you're not even going to let me explain." "Explain what?" "That you weren't straddling another man in our hot tub." "I have video." She moved closer. I held up my hand. "Stop right there. I made a mistake. A terrible mistake. But we can work through this. Couples therapy. Counseling. I want you gone in 8 minutes. You're being unreasonable." I looked at her then. "I came home early. Found you half naked with a married man in my hot tub. His hands on you. You on his lap. And I'm unreasonable. It wasn't like that. We were just talking and things got out of hand." "Things got out of hand. That's your defense. You put on a bikini, invited him over while I was at work, and ups things just happened." No response. "How long?" I asked. "What?" "How long has this been going on?" "Today was the first stop lying. Melanie told you 6 months ago she was worried about Maddox. You convinced her she was paranoid. You don't do that unless you're protecting him. So how long?" Her lip trembled. "For months. For months of lies." "Get your stuff." 6 minutes. Where am I supposed to go?" "Call Maddox. I'm sure he'll figure something out. Or maybe not." Considering Spencer rearranged his face. She started crying harder. "I don't have anywhere to go. Your friends know what you did by now. Melanie's probably sent that video to everyone. You made your bed. Sleep in it, alone. You're cruel. This is why I finished that sentence. Tell me this is my fault. Tell me I drove you to cheat. Give me one more reason to make this divorce ugly." She closed her mouth. Smart. I pointed upstairs. For minutes, she ran up the stairs. I heard drawers opening, things being thrown around. My phone buzzed. Melanie, Maddox, showed up. Tried to get his stuff. Spencer wouldn't let him in. Police called. "He's being charged with trespassing." I typed back, "Thanks." "How are you holding up?" "Better than he is." Footsteps on the stairs. She came down with a garbage bag of clothes. "Keys," I said, holding out my hand.